And as always, we're going to be looking for accurate context, good risk management, and always exercising good patience.
Everybody who's traded has gone through periods of time where their strategy hasn't worked.
Where if not a hard stop, you should reevaluate the trades you're in based on time.
That's what we're here for, is to put ourselves in the best success. A trading routine does that, builds that habit, lets you know what to work on, what to reflect on, and what to improve on the next day.
Good afternoon and welcome, my futures family, to the Market Reflection, Tuesday, March the 28th. My name is John. Thanks for trusting me with your time. Hope you had a good trading day. It was a little bit choppy in certain respects, but maybe some decent opportunities, and I'm hoping you were able to find and take advantage of some of them. Well, the equities closed a little bit lower. Unofficially, the S&P is down 7 points, 0.19%. NASDAQ down 60 points, 4.6%. And the Dow down 50 points, 50 ticks, 0.15%. The NASDAQ taking it the worst today. I think it's been performing better to the upside. Of course, it's going to move a little bit faster to the downside. Crude oil continues to move higher, although the rally did slow today. It was only up about 39 cents by the end of the day, closing at 73.20, up 0.54%. Now, why did the equities kind of lose ground today? And I think a lot of that has to do, of course, with the consumer confidence numbers that came out. The previous release came out at 102.9. That was revised higher at 103.4. The expectation for the release today was 101. It came out at 104.2, indicating higher confidence in the consumers than they were expecting. The Fed has been trying to slow the economy down, and this is contrary to that end, I guess you could say. So then the worry becomes, as far as traders or investors are concerned, is what does that mean for rates moving forward? We had a 25 basis point rate hike on Wednesday, but if this whole banking thing goes behind us, what's that mean for the next release in May, the next Fed meeting, which is 5 weeks from tomorrow? Well, a little early out to be worrying about that, I think, but I think is part of the concern of why the equities kind of took a little bit of a downturn today. Not breaking market state. I think we're still kind of upside or to an upside digestion, but I think there was a little bit of fear in the wind as far as that consumer confidence number. That number is going to probably feel meaningless when we get to Thursday's GDP numbers. Tomorrow, pending home sales, EIA natural gas, but the big number this week, GDP, comes out on Thursday. So we'll probably see some more range-bound activity, some hedging, some positioning for what happens on Thursday's GDP number. So Fed member Barr spoke again today at the House of Representatives, and a couple of things that he mentioned is that he feels as though most banks are very good at controlling interest rate and liquidity risks. Thank goodness for that. Silicon Valley Bank was notified that they needed to fix, in air quotes, problems since November 2021. They chose not to, and that it was a terrible risk management not to have a chief risk officer, which the bank did not. We are reviewing our own practices after SVB. It would be irresponsible not to. But he thinks the most banks are in fine shape, which is good news, of course. So that's where we are as far as the end of the day today. We're going to look at the markets here. As always, I ask that you hit the lucky like button, share, comment, question, feedback, heckling, and love are always welcome on the reflection here. We did have Make Hogue Money today. We made a little bit of dough. And that's, I think that's 3 days in a row we've been making money. So thank you for joining, attending, and coming up with those good trade ideas that are making me money. Love it. Again, looking forward to expanding some of this stuff we're doing here on YouTube very soon. We do hope you enjoy what we have, and we'll look forward to spending a little bit more time together. Good afternoon to the rooster. We're crowing in the afternoon, as usually you are. Anissa, good evening. Kyle, Nicholas has a question. Nicholas Sodaro, what percentage of traders in the futures market are trading standalone futures contracts without an option hedge? It's a good question. It's one that I can't answer with any real knowledge of that. Most of the futures traders that I knew traded futures without the benefit of hedging with options. Most of the options traders I knew, most of them did trade futures as a hedge for their options. I don't know if that helps answer that question, Nicholas. I know that there is a percentage that do, and I know there's a percentage of futures traders, outright futures traders, who look at options and open interest at certain strike prices for possible areas of liquidity in the futures markets without actually trading the options. It's a great question. I wish that I had the answer for you. Maybe we can find that out together. RCU, good afternoon. End of the month, Friday. Yeah, I think it is Friday, end of the month. Yes, end of the month on Friday. End of the quarter as well. Bill, good afternoon. Good afternoon, my guy Vince. And I'm for reals. Hola. Don't trade options, just ES. Well, there's one for us. I'm for reals. I don't trade options either, just basically futures. I mean, I do some longer time frame trading, but I call that investing. But it's a really good question, Nicholas. If anybody has any information on that, please let us know. And Nicholas, keep asking. Maybe we can, like I said, we can find out together. Always love the opportunity to have these questions, and for me to have the opportunity to learn something new as well. I think I learn as much, if not more, from you guys than you learn from me. Speaking of which, tomorrow we have group coaching at 12:30 p.m. Central Time and Make Hogue Money. Don't forget, on Thursday at 2 p.m. Central, we have Jared Tendler with us. Be on YouTube. Look in your emails so you can register for it. You can send in emailed in questions, and you'll have the opportunity to ask questions on the fly. I'm not sure if Jared will be able to get to them all, but I know he will work very hard to try and get to them all. And we are looking forward to it. Always good to see Jared Tendler, the author of The Mental Game of Trading. It's a great book. If you haven't picked it up yet, suggest you check it out. There's lots of good exercises and accountabilities for us to really work on our mental game, the psychological game of trading. Very important. All right. Thank you. It does help. I've been looking at the expected move indicator from Thinkorswim on the Theo trade page. It's pretty interesting. Well, keep looking. If you find ways to make it help you in your trading, keep doing it, right? And then let me know too. So we're going to take a look through the charts here just quickly and briefly to see what happened today and see if there's anything that might kind of bring our eyes to it tomorrow morning. Here's the daily in crude oil. Weekly kickoff, 73. Still relatively magnetic to that level. Not a big move either side of it. Here's the 30-minute chart. We opened, we looked lower, we looked higher, we traded back to it. It's one of those things where if we're going to use it as a pivot, long, short below, long above. If we did that today, we had some opportunity, but if we fell in love with those trades did not last very long. I'm looking for some sort of final acceptance above this level or rejection below that level to really start to look for opportunities. Here's the TPO chart from it today. Normal variation, excess low, initial balance, the low of the regular trading hour session. Not really looking at this as an extreme. It's more of a neutral day, although the market did try and push higher throughout the session. Here's the E-mini S&Ps. Hello, Haggle Matters. Good to see you. So again, we pulled back a little bit today. We didn't close higher, but we did put in a kind of another higher low, lower high. The market has been doing that, largely range bound, short time frame control, and seeking new information or direction. We've got long shadows on all of these bars here. Maybe just because we've got the GDP number coming out on Thursday. And I think we did come off a little bit today due to the information from consumer confidence. Didn't close all that bad. How about that, right? So there's our close. Settlement's going to be somewhere around 4,000, 4,001 or 2. Decent move to the downside. Short time frame control. Value high from Friday. Put in the low. Kind of a weak low. What's this look like on our TPO chart? Weak low. To see how weak it is. So J period did not take out the low of I, but still this is not a very strong low. An unfinished downside auction with excess at the top. The market is attempting to move lower. How good of a job is it doing? We had a weak low yesterday. Got a weak low today. Excess at the high, excess at the high. This looks like the same day. It's a normal variation day. The IB extreme high of the regular trading hour session. And rotation. Value moving lower. Excess on the tops. No excess on the bottoms. Unfinished downside auctions for the last 2 sessions. Take a look at the NASDAQ. Still range bound. Looked a little deeper. Closed a little weaker. Here's the 30. So we opened, rejected price and value from yesterday. Continued to kind of get down and check this visual down here. And again, not a bad close. It's going to look a little bit like excess on the daily chart. We got some candlestick wicks or shadows down here. Take a look at the TPO chart. So excess high, low excess low, normal variation, neutral day, value moving lower. Where is our area of balance? One area of balance here looks like we've kind of closed in or around that level, checking these points of control. I'm going to see what things look like tomorrow. Again, I'm looking for tomorrow to be a day that we're going to set up a range and we're going to play in that range all day tomorrow because of the GDP on Thursday. Now, that said, the market loves to make a liar out of me. So we're going to have to see how these markets open tomorrow. Here's gold. Back and forth, range bound, looking for information, using up its ability to facilitate trade. We see volume dropping off pretty quickly here, but remember, this is in rollover. So by tomorrow or Thursday morning, we will probably be moving straight past the May contract to the June contract. The volume will move into the June contract again, not the May contract. That's kind of a bastard month. People don't trade it. Here's the 30-minute chart. Open, gap close, finding support on the gap close and returning higher. Opened with a gap, didn't get to point of control, didn't do any repair here, didn't finish any repair here. Just makes sense that the market's trying to fill in this space. We'll see again tomorrow. Here's the TPO chart. Okay. IB high or low? No. We extended the range to close the gap. Once the gap was closed, we started looking higher, and look at what we did. We did put in a late spike at the end of the day here, the 12 to 12:30 bar. I know, right? Gold closes at 12:30 in central time. Technically, that is the regular trading hour close. So we've got a late spike. We'll check that out tomorrow morning to see where we're going to open. There may be opportunity in that. Here's the euro, the dollar down about 0.5% today. So the dollar continues to push lower, range bound, but continuation to the upside. In short time frame, we've got a rally going here. We never did close the gap. We are in an area of potential repair, with the market just grinding higher, grinding. How I say that, like I'm grinding my teeth. Here's the TPO chart. Low excess high, low excess low, normal variation, extreme. Point of control, TPO, very close to the upper extreme. Market is spending time at higher levels. We'll see if these higher levels continue to bring upside opportunity tomorrow morning. Here's the 10-year. So the yield on the 10-year, what did it do? Let's have a quick look at this. Whoops, that's not what I'm looking for. The yield on the 10-year really just closed, or currently, right? Hang on a second here. Closed right now. It's almost at where it opened, or where it closed yesterday. So no real change. The market continuing to push lower. Here's the 30. Gap close, rejection, range bound. Makes sense with very little change in the current rate. Normal variation trading day. The upper extreme is the high of the initial balance. Normal variation neutral day. No excess low, but we have no excess highs and lows all over the place in this market. Take a look at now the natural gas. Now finally showing some time of acceptance below weekly kickoff low. Here's the 30. Here's what it did. Opened, tested to it, rejected, continuation, closing lower. Do we have a late spike here? It almost looks like we do. Let's take a look on the TPO chart. Late spike to the downside on acceptance below an important inflection level. Tomorrow might be a very interesting day in the natural gas contract if I traded it. I do not trade natural gas. I do not like green eggs and ham. Natural gas is a wicked market. Here's the TPOs again, the late spike. We'll see where the market opens again tomorrow. On those markets with late spikes, always gives me some good reference and some good potential hypotheses. And if those hypotheses ring true, I've got a strategy for each one of them, and we'll see if we can make some money on them, right? So on this day in history, March 28th was the beginning of the 3 Mile Island accident. If you remember that, it was 1979. Imagine many of you don't, but it's the worst nuclear power plant disaster here in the States. Very scary time. 1984, today's the day that the Baltimore Colts moved to Indianapolis. Now, what is that? 84, 94, 2004. That's like 7 years ago, 27 years. And I still call them the Baltimore Colts. I just can't get over it. I'm the guy that when the year changes, if we were still using checks, I'd still be writing 2022. how about in music? Today is Reba McEntire's birthday. Reba McEntire was born in 1954, someone called the Queen of Country, 31 number one singles, over 25 albums. Lady Gaga. It's Lady Gaga's birthday today. And in 1973 on this date, Led Zeppelin released their 5th studio album, Houses of the Holy. We always have to talk about Led Zeppelin when they're on here. All right. Haggle Matters. They were your team growing up, the Baltimore Colts. Yours says they're not well loved in Baltimore, and I can imagine. I can imagine. All right. So tomorrow is Wednesday, EIA Petroleum Status Report Day. I'll look forward to seeing everybody on the prep tomorrow morning, 7:45, same bat time, same bat channel. Get some rest. I know I am going to. I'm a little bit tired today for no reason whatsoever, just a little bit tired, and but looking forward to the opportunities for the markets tomorrow. I think that's it. Have a good evening. Be good to yourself. Be good to each other. Say a prayer for peace. We all need to pray for peace. Have a great night.